स्वं बोधमात्रं परिशुद्धतत्त्वं विज्ञाय सङ्घे नृपवच्च सैन्ये तदात्मनैवात्मनि सर्वदा स्थितो विलापय ब्रह्मणि विश्वजातम्।
अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल 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 अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल।
नमः परमर्षिभ्यो नमः परमर्षिभ्यः। हरि ओम। उपासकानां यदुपासनीयम् उपात्तवासं वटशाखिमूले तद्धाम दाक्षिण्यजुषा स्वमूर्त्या जागर्तु चित्ते मम बोधरूपम् अद्राक्षम् अक्षीणदयानिधानम् आचार्यमाद्यं वटमूलभागे मौनेन मन्दस्मितभूषितेन महर्षिलोकस्य तमोनुदन्तम् विद्राविताशेषतमोगणेन मुद्राविशेषेण मुहुर्मुनीनां निरस्यमायां दयया विधत्ते देवो महान् तत्त्वमसीति बोधम् ममाद्य देवो वटमूलवासी कृपाविशेषात् कृतसन्निधानः ओङ्काररूपाम् उपदिश्य विद्याम् आविद्यगध्वान्तमपाकरोतु सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुत्यर्थगोचरं वन्दे वाच्यार्थानामगोचरम् लक्ष्यार्थवपुषं वन्दे शङ्करं देशिकं गुरुम्। अपारसच्चित्सुखवारिराशेः यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि। देहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकमहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभावसुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः कोऽहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधिया दृष्ट्वात्मनिष्ठात्मनां सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। part of our Nitya Swadhyaya Yajna. We are contemplating on Bhagavad Pada Shankaracharya's Vivekachudamani. There now we are in the portion of Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti. Eshu Satsveva Sannishta Yadabhavena Siddhyati. And all the Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampattis are there, these prerequisites are there. Then Atma Vichara becomes fruitful. So, yesterday we saw Vivekam, Vairagyam, Shamaha, Damaha, Uparatihi, Titiksha. This much we have seen. The beginning is Vivekam. Then, as the result of Viveka comes dispassion, Vairagya. And then it leads to peace of mind. Somewhat the mind is calm. When Swami said to a brahmachari, he said, I want to become spiritual. He said, first be a gentleman, then be spiritual. So that is the beginning. So there it is Shamaha. The mind is withdrawn from all worldly entanglements and kept peacefully in upasana, murti or japam, dhyanam, something. It is not allowed to go to Vishayavrata, into the pastures of sensory objects where it will get trapped. How do you practice Shama? You see dosha drishti there, defects. Then keep your attention focused on your goal, swalakshyam. That is Shama. And when the senses are completely out of control, the energy gets drained out through them. So they are also put to order. All, see, Shama, Dhamma, etc. very easily comes when a person gets the association of a Mahatma in Satsangam. So, Yoga Vasishta says, Mumukṣutva dvarapalaha chatvarav parikirtitaha. Here we said chatvaraha, sadhana chatushtaya. Vasishta says there are 4 gatekeepers for liberation. Shamaha, first is Shamaha, the mind is calm. Then Vicharaha, then inquiry. Santoshaha, you are always content with whatever you get. Tripti. Then Chaturtha Sadhu Sangamaha. The 4th one is contact with saints, with those who know Shastra, those who are in the Jnana Marga, those who are in Bhakti Marga. All of them can help a seeker to attain mental calmness and sensory orderliness. That is Dhamma. Naturally, when you move with bhaktas, you will start doing Ekadashi Vrata, or obeying the Shastras. Shastras are full of tapas. So you see, instead you yourself planning austerity is very difficult. When you have association with people who are very austere, naturally austerity comes to you. Suppose you are in a good ashram, even if you want, you will not get food on Ekadashi. What to do? So naturally that tapas comes. If you are in many people I know, they got trained in these disciplines by staying in such a situation, such a sannivesha, such a setup, where they have to wake up by 3:30 in the morning. They will get food only at such and such a time. Total discipline. After some years, that becomes natural to them. So for this, you need sadhu sangama. It brings in shama, it brings in santosha, it brings many things. So, this is vishayebhyah paravartya, obstructing, putting a shutter to the sensory world and keeping the senses in their place. Swaswagolake sadamaha parikirtitaha. That is dama. So this is second thing we told. Then uparati, where the mind is naturally, the entire mind energy, the mental energy, the inner vitality is available for you for meditation. It is not scattered by its attraction outside. Bahya analambanam. It is no more depending on any outer object for its pleasure. If it is depending on outer object, then constantly it will go outside. So that is not there. Bahya analambanam vrittehe. That vritti is not going out, or buddhi is not going out. Esha uparatiruttama. This is great. It is actually the visible state of spirituality. The person is visibly spiritual when the pratyak pravaha, inward flow of the mind is very, very natural. Shanaihi uparamet. Buddhya dhriti grihitaya. Dhriti means the willpower is refined, distilled, chiseled, slowly by obedience to the Shastras, obedience to Guru, obedience to all traditional sacred teaching. Thus, the person moves, and the will learns that art of surrender. It becomes subservient to higher intelligence. In such a state, it naturally, there comes the next quality, that is Śraddhā, that we will see. So there, the mind, bahya analambanam, the mind no more goes out and catches hold of outer things. See, our modern training itself is to run after one after the other. The whole world you run in search of pleasure. Muruganar says, Terukadai nai pol terndade. He says, I was like a dog, a street dog. Wherever I get, here I will get something to eat, there I will get something to eat. Like that I was moving about. So the Bhagavata says, already you have desire. That itself is dangerous. If you have money also along with it, it is more dangerous. If money is not there, you cannot fulfill desire, you cannot harm yourself. That much. So, if you have, along with desire, you have wealth also, you are into more danger. So, in one place Bhagavata says, sometimes Bhagavan's grace mysteriously descends on a person by giving him poverty. Bhagavan will snatch all his wealth. Yasya anugraham ichchami tasya vittam haramyaham. Asataha shrimadandasya. An unintelligent person, a fool, who is arrogant due to wealth. Daridriyam paramanjanam. Poverty is like, it will open his eyes. So sometimes that will help. So like that. So anything that you depend upon outside, the mind becomes chanchala, fickle. And it also becomes feeble, frail, weak. So, bahya analambanam vrittehe. The vritti, the thoughts are not running outside. Esha uparatihi uttama. This is good withdrawal. He can say this is spirituality. This is really where the person is visibly spiritual. This is the state where true meditation starts happening in him. Not a trained meditation. A natural meditation where the mind has tasted something in the center. Where it is ready to collect itself. It is scattered outside like sesame seeds. One by one, very, very difficult to process. So, shanaihi, in a gentle way, in a mild way, in a slow way, you collect thoughts wherever it is distracted, the emotions, its interest, its fascination. From all that corners, you bring the mind back to the center and offer it to the inner fire. This is a homa. Shankaracharya says this is ekagnihotra. Not many agni, only one agni. The single inner fire to which you offer. Ekagni. So, this is done. இங்கே வாங்க முருகா, அப்படி மொள்ள வரத்துக்கு ஒரேடியாக வந்துடலாம். Now what? Now about our prarabdha. Then what to do about our prarabdha? Endure. Sahanam sarvadukhanam apratikara purvakam chinta vilapa rahitam sa titiksha nigadyate. This is actual tapas. The austerity is the person is ready to swallow everything. Whatever difficulty comes, he endures. He is ready to face them, absorb them. So that also we said yesterday, chinta vilaparahitam sa titiksha nigadyate. No lamenting, no thinking about it again and again. That is titiksha. Sa titiksha nigadyate. Now comes one of the very important thing, very important verse also. Shastrasya guru vakyasya satya buddhyavadharana सा श्रद्धा कथिता सद्भिः यया वस्तूपलभ्यते. Śraddhā. We cannot translate this word to English. It is very difficult. We have to translate it as Śraddhā only. Generally, it is translated as faith. So, Śraddhā, that dhatu, has meaning as Sat, truth. And holding to that is Śraddhā. By tapas, by austerity, if all the prerequisites already what we have elaborated are there, a power arises in the person, which opens his heart. Tapasa Śraddhā Śraddhaya Medha Medhaya Manisha Manishaya Manaha. So through tapas, Śraddhā wakes up. That is, only through tapas Śraddhā will wake. The mind is refined, purified, and then one's attention, one's love, one's faith, one's willpower, one's energy to look within, one's power to the insight to uncover the meanings of Shastras. One chooses to put one's whole being, faith, in Guru, in Shastra, because his intelligence tells him there lies his well-being. Not blind faith. It is not simply blind faith. People call it blind faith. Actually, every faith is blind, if you say so. Even science also blind. Even we saying that earth is global, we have not seen. Everything we believe because we think that it comes from an authentic source. When we were studying, we studied 9 planets. Now they say suddenly one disappeared. So, it's all faith only. But this is something which gives you the fruit instantaneously. It's a spiritual quality which wakes up in a person as the result of bhakti. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Śraddhārūpena Samsthita Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha. Devi Mahatmyam says, when Divine Mother is pleased with a person, she manifests in his heart as Śraddhā. So Śraddhā is the power which gives instantaneous liberation. When Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi heard the name Arunachalam, he was full of Śraddhā. So the moment he heard Arunachalam, he got liberated. It was like putting a key and opening. Further death experience, everything followed that. So the power, what we call the spiritual volcano, it is there inside, trying to come up, to explode. And its first, that smoke is Śraddhā. Behind that the fire will come. So Śraddhā comes in the beginning. When Śraddhā is there, the person has immense faith in Guru Shastra. Shastra means According to Vedanta, Shastra means Upanishad only. Nothing else. Traditionally, we in a loose way we use that word. Diabetes சாப்பிட உட்கார்ந்தா கூட கொஞ்சம் சாஸ்திரத்துக்கு பாயசம் அப்படின்னு. எந்த சாஸ்திரம்? Everything they will say Shastram. So Shastrasya, for the sake of Shastra means Upanishad. Only one Shastra. Anything that follows the Upanishad is considered authentic. Vedanta stands there. Anything that does not follow the Upanishads, the Puranas, the Smriti, everything, wherever they go sideways, we call it Arthavada. Let them speak. Some story they say, some belief they say, or okay. For the entertainment sake or for use in some other direction, it is okay. But the only pramana, authenticity, is given to the Upanishads. See, even Bhagavad Gita becomes authentic because it is the best commentary for the Upanishads. That is the standard. No individual person is considered authentic. No person. Shankaracharya says in Brahma Sutra Bhashyam that Kapila Bhagavan, Kapila, who propounded Sankhya Shastra, he is not Pramanam. He is Pramanam as far as he is following this line. If he is telling, I have found some new truth, let him keep it. Truth can never be new. It can be fresh. When everyone realizes it can be fresh, but not new truth. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi became such an authentic sage not because he was Ramana Maharshi, not because he came to Tiruvannamalai, not because he was wearing only loin cloth, not even because he sat silent and in his silence gave peace to everybody. No. Whatever he spoke was perfect jnanam, which you can see in the Upanishads. Same. And he himself said, if they are not there in the way Upanishads, it will not come through this mouth. Vedantatte veru ara vilangum vedapporul arul arunachala. He says Arunachala is Vedantatte vilangum porul, that which is shining in the Upanishads. It is Arunachala. So the outer Arunachala is there, but the real Arunachala, Bhagavan says, is that effulgence which is shining in Vedanta, the Upanishads. And that too how? Where are vilangum? It is not shining in that book, it is shining in your heart. The book is only like a mirror. That is the greatness of book, not that we are slaves to books. No. No book is also authentic. The book is authentic because it is a mirror which will reveal you as you are, not even as you appear. You appear as body, you appear as mind. The Upanishadic mirror will reveal to you not as you appear. It reveals to you as you really are. Suppose some mirror will show you all your mind. Will you go and stand there? No. But this mirror will show you whoever you may be, however worse. This Upanishad mirror will tell you that you are pure. You are the eternal. You are the ever awakened. You are that pure Satchidananda. It will reveal to you that. Then you can go and stand. Anyone can go and stand. Stenaha asteno bhavati. Upanishad says even a thief stands there, it will not reveal him as thief. It will reveal to him as Brahman. Brunaha bhavati. A criminal also, if he goes and stands there, no crime, nothing. You are revealed as pure Ananda Vastu, blissful, Satchidananda, immaculate. That is the pramanya of Shastra. So, okay, that is one thing. Now, Śraddhā, that is our quality. When this Śraddhā awakens in the person, the job is very easy. He need not struggle much with sadhana. That is the use of it. When Śraddhā is there, the Guru tells him Tattvamasi, he becomes that. Bhagavan in Ulladinarpada says, even if you do who am I, you are not a bhakta. Bhagavan says. Just that the Upanishad tells you Tattvamasi and finished. You should not do any further sadhana, not a single movement. Even if you are, after hearing that, you are doing some sadhana, means you don't have sufficient faith. அது நீ என்று அம்மறைகள் ஆர்த்திடவும் எது என்று தேர்ந்திராது. The moment the Shruti says ahasputam tattvamasi vedaha, the Veda is telling tattvamasi, you are that. And if you have real devotion, you should abide in that. That moment you should get liberated. If that much faith is there, the person is... We have to ask why he is born. We are all born because our bag has so much prarabdha karma. Very rarely such a being comes to the world that he has perfect Śraddhā. But at least somewhat Śraddhā should be there. When the Guru tells him, go and do Giri Pradakshana, at least he should be able to do Giri Pradakshana. He goes and sits somewhere in the road and comes back after 3 hours and says, did Giri Pradakshana. Bluffing disciple. So Śraddhā, Bhagavan many times used to say that sometimes he will say, cook this, and it is very difficult to cook that. Some vegetable. They will somehow take that vegetable and bury under the earth. And Bhagavan has various disciples to reveal that to him. One disciple is dog. And when Bhagavan was walking towards Goshala, he saw the dog standing there and barking and notifying. It was just unearthing that. So Bhagavan saw that. Oh, at least they could have given it to the cows. He said, what to do? We can only tell them. So, if when the Guru tells you, at least you struggle, that much Śraddhā is needed. So, Shastra Śraddhā, Guru Vakya Śraddhā. These two are very, very important. Generally, why Shastra importance is given? See, Bhagavan says, his words become Shastra to us. And we cannot say everyone who comes in that tradition is like him. So better stick to the Shastra more. And if the Guru is also telling, or the saint who is guiding you is also telling perfectly like that, obey. That is why Shastra is given importance. Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Akarya Vyavasthitau Nyatva Shastra Vidhanoktam Karma Kartum Iharhasi. So Shastra is authority, Pramana. What to do, what not to do. So Shastra Śraddhā, this Shastra Śraddhā is developed slowly in the Vedic tradition. They develop the Shastra Śraddhā in every bit, every step. They develop this Shastra Śraddhā. So Shastra Śraddhā, Guru Vakya Śraddhā, the moment they hear that Satya Buddhya Avadharana, they realize that as truth. Sa Śraddhā Katita Sadbihi. The sages, they say that is Śraddhā. Yaya vastu upalabhyate. By that power, one person gets realization. Many got it like that, Sometimes in Bhagavan's presence, they got it even without him uttering any word. Even by being in his presence. That is quite possible, very rarely. Sometimes Śraddhā is born by association with Guru. We saw one story in Shankaracharya's life that somewhere down south, one Jain sadhu came to Shankaracharya when he was wandering. He said, Swami, I want to ask you some doubt. I belong to the Jain sect Nanta, Digambara. So, naked, they move naked. He said, I want to ask you some question. I worship time as the supreme. Something like that he says. So I want to have discussion with you. Shankaracharya said, see, we are all walking and so busy, everywhere there is meeting people. So you also join us. When we are free, we will talk. And that sadhu also joined along with the group. So many thousands were there. And Bhiksha arrangement, everything was there. So they were moving almost for an year or so. This sadhu was with them. And when they reached Kashi, he joined them somewhere south. And they walked and to Kashi they walked. And in Kashi there was some relaxed atmosphere. Free. Not much busy. Shankaracharya's disciples were doing the teaching work. Then Shankaracharya called this Bhikshu, Chapanaka. He was called and said, you wanted to ask me something? And that monk said, if I have to ask, I should have asked them, not now. So many, almost for an year I have stayed with you. Now how to ask? All doubts are gone. I don't have any doubt anymore. I have nothing to ask. Your grace has completely cleansed me, made me peaceful. No doubt at all. So, this Śraddhā Shakti very peacefully makes the person wake up. So, Shastrasya Guru Vakyasya Satya Buddhya Avadharana. Here, Devaraja Mudaliyar was there. His Śraddhā to Bhagavan was somewhat mysterious because he was not a person of faith. He said, I have no faith in Vedas, I had no faith in Brahmins. But if Bhagavan says, there is a white crow, I will see white crow. That much faith he had in Bhagavan. So that much Śraddhā wakes up by Ishvara Anugraha. So it is the sign of Bhagavat Kripa that Śraddhā wakes up. Tapasa Śraddhā. Tapas also means bhakti. Through bhakti, this Śraddhā, bhakti, dhyana yoga. The Upanishad says these are the three steps. Śraddhā comes, then bhakti comes, then dhyana yoga. Śraddhā, bhakti, dhyana yogad avehi. Vivekachudamani also quotes this Shruti Vakya later on. Śraddhā bhakti dhyana yogan mumukṣoho muktehe hetunu vakti sakshat shrutehe gihi. So Śraddhā bhakti. So Shastrasya Guruvakyasya Satya Buddhya Avadharana Sa Śraddhā. Now how many qualifications we have finished? 6 we have already finished. 5 Viveka Vairagya Śama Dhamma Uparati Tidiksha, Śraddhā. 7. Now, Samādhānam. Actually, Śama and Samādhānam look same. Samādhānam is actually Samadhi, where the Samādhānam, bringing the mind and making it stay in Samasthiti. Samatvam yoga uchyate. In Gita, Bhagavan says, what is yoga? Samatvam. What is mind? Vishamatvam. Vigata samabhava. Vishama. Vishama means no samatva. Visham means poison. You know what poison does? It completely disturbs the inner samabhava. So it is called Visham. It creates Vishamam inside. In Gita, Arjuna was in Vishamam and Bhagavan Krishna had to take him to Samam. Samam means that equilibrium. That state where the mind is unaffected by anything. Peaceful. So, Sarvada Sthapanam. Cholama. Sarvada Sthapanam Buddhe. Shuddhe Brahmani Sarvada. இது பாட்டமே வேறையா இருக்கு. தத் சமாதானமித்யுக்தம் நது சித்தஸ்ய லாலனம். The traditional part. Samyagasthāpanam buddhehe Shuddhe Brahmani Sarvada. Tat samadhanamityuktam natu chittasya lalanam. சித்தஸ்ய லாலனம். லாலனத்துக்கு என்ன சொல்றது? குழந்தைகளை எல்லாம் கொஞ்சற மாதிரி. தப்பு. Pampering. Correct. The mind asks something, you give, so that the mind is peaceful. Lalanam is generally done with children. Some child constantly asks for mobile. It is only 1 year old. And if in olden days the child will put its thumb in mouth and keep quiet. Now give mobile. This is difficult. So you give mobile and the child is peaceful. It is not peace. Like that, the mind is asking many things. You make it quiet by giving it. Then the mind keeps quiet. It is like feeding a devil. Constantly feeding the devil. So that is not the way. Samyak asthapanam buddhehe. The buddhi is constantly withdrawn. Yataha nisharati manaha chanjalam asthiram. The mind becomes fickle, affected by something outside. Tataha. From there, in that thing you see dosham, defect. And by tuitioning, what we told? Intuition. By intuition, by training the mind, disciplining the mind is slow. It is a very long, slow process. Don't try to jump. If you try to unnecessarily jump, the mind will get fractured. Even this desire to quickly attain is a business motive. What are you going to do? See, in Bhagavata, all the devotees, they say, Bhagavan, I am not concerned. I don't want anything. This is a true bhakta. The bhakta says, I am not even asking for liberation. You have already taken the resolve and come to this field. Now, be desireless. Because what is liberation? You are this moment peaceful. This moment, this moment, this moment. Why don't you? In this moment, when will I attain realization? 1 week only I have. Before that I have to attain realization from Tiruvannamalai and go back to America and start an institution there and get trapped. Who will give me realization? And somebody puts both. We will give you realization. You will realize in 1 week that you cannot realize. So, you have to learn devotion. And the nature of devotion is desirelessness. The moment you absolutely become desireless, you are an emperor. The Upanishad says, Yada, when the person becomes absolutely desirous, all the desires of the heart are given up. Then, Atra Brahma Samashnute. Here he attains Brahman. Here he attains Brahman. He need not tell others that I attained this, all that. So, every moment you are desireless. Every moment. Prati bodha vititam matam amritatvam hi vindate. Kenopanishad says, moment by moment, every awareness you are aware. That is why great devotees, they recommend Nama Japa. Because the Nama Japa has no end. It has no beginning. It has no elaborate grammar or anything behind it. No language, no achievement, no attainment. Moment by moment, you are becoming aware of the infinite. That's all. The name is only an indicator. It is just reminding you about your infinite nature. That's all. Nothing else. So, you become desireless. So, this bringing the mind, sthapanam, make it abide in Brahma. Now, the question will arise. Because now only the disciple, after this only, is going to listen. Now, how can he make the mind stay in Brahman? If this prerequisite is like this, here itself he realizes the truth. So, Brahma here means the Upanishad, the teaching. Or you can say Saguna Brahma, Bhagavan Nama or Bhagavan's form or something like that. So, Samyag Astapanam Buddhehe Shuddhe Brahmani. Shuddha also means that. Sarvada. Tat Samādhānam ityuktam. That is called Samādhānam. Bringing the mind, training the mind to be tranquil. This we have already told in Śama. And what is the difference here? Yadyapi Swalakshye niyatavastharupa shamapekshaya bhedona lakshyate idrishe samadhane. Chandrasekhara Bharati Swami says, although you cannot see any bheda, difference between Śama and Samādhāna, tathapi muhuhu dosha drishtya vishayebhyo virajya swalakshye niyatavastha ityanena yato nisharati manaschanjalamastiram tatastado niyamye tadatmanyeva vasham nayetiti gītoktaritya shamavasthayam prayatna visheshaha avekshate sankalpa vikalpatmakasya manasaha sthirikarane. Here Chandrasekhara Bharati Swami, the great commentator, says in Śama there is prayatna, effort is there, too much effort is there to keep the mind calm. But when the person reaches here, he is naturally calm. That is what we already said, Kritopasaka. Before coming to listening, sometimes the devotee, even in Bhagavan's case, you see, before doing self-inquiry, what happened to him? He could have directly started death experience. No. First he heard Arunachalam. And that moment, he remained absorbed in that samadhi, that bhava samadhi. Bhagavan says, I had no idea about Brahma, Atma, liberation, nothing. My idea was only about Purana. So generally, Kritopasaka is the person says, as we have already told Vidyaranya Swami, that Vidyaranya Swami's words, that Ishvara Ishtadevata Sakshatkara Paryantam Upastim Kritva. His mind is absolutely focused. By in the form of the Lord, or in the mantra, or in some bhava. This Gita Bhagavan calls as bhavana. Na abhavayata shanti. Their bhavana is upasana, shanti is jnana. So without bhavana becoming perfect, jnanam will not work. So this is natural. Then the person is a very highly evolved person. In such a state, Atayeva atra adyavasayatmikayaha buddhehe shuddhe brahmani samyak aasthapanam sarvada ityanena sankalpa vinirmuktatvam andhakaranasya prakrite kathitam bhavati. Atayeva manashabdam vihaya nirnayatmaka vrittimad buddhi shabdaha prayoji. Tatrapi shuddhe brahmaniti nirgunam kathyate sarvopadi vinirmuktam. Here Chandrasekhara Bharati Swami says, Shuddhe Brahmani means Nirguna Brahma. All these days he has done that way also. We can say, but the question remains. Now only he is going to do Shravana. But we can say, when he is studying the Vedas, then itself he has known this Nirguna Brahma. Or you can say Pranava Upasana. When a person takes sannyasa, there are two types of sannyasa. One is 99% sannyasa. A person takes sannyasa. So after sannyasa, he strives to attain realization. So there, his sannyasa is very, very strict. He doesn't want any distraction. His attention is to attain jnana. He is called Vividisha Sannyasi. And such a person sticks to his anushtana like Pranava Upasana. About whole day he spends in, that is the Nirguna Upasana, the Pranava. Pranava is also called Brahma. Shuddhe Brahmani means you can say Pranava also. Keeping the mind, it becomes very natural to him that he does the japa of Omkara, and it has become natural to him. That is samadhanam. No other distraction. Tajjabas tadartha bhavanam. So a sannyasi is qualified to do nirguna upasana because pranava is nirguna. So generally in tradition, normally grihasthas are not permitted to do mere simple pranava. It will be added some mantra, some nama, some form. Otherwise, one Swami was here. Shantan Swamiji was here. Swamiji, somebody asked, why not we also chant simple pranavam? If a person is qualified, nobody can obstruct him. But the person who asked to Swami Shantanandaji, he said, it is like doing surgery without anesthesia. He said, it will pull you out and you are not ready to go. It has power to take you to the higher realization. You are not ready to go, then you will have difficulties. So that is the traditional stand. So everyone is not asked to do this. Generally, even if you listen to Jnanam, generally people say don't rush. Go slowly. Shanaihi, not drag. Don't be in urgency. It is like a homeopathy medicine. Low potency medicine is enough. Too much potency you cannot bear. So that is the traditional stand. So when the person is ripe, when he is ready to renounce everything, come out, then he has no distraction outside. In such a person, he can withdraw the mind and keep it quiet, calm in Atma or in Pranavam. That is Samādhānam. It's a very highly evolved soul. So this is Vividisha Sannyasa itself, he struggles to do this. And Vidvat Sannyasi means the person has already attained. So for him, all these rules are not there. These regulations are not there. He need not even take to sannyasa, but he takes to sannyasa either for the respect of Shastra or for the well-being, goodness of the world or some other cause, to remain absolutely undistracted in Shanti, Atmanishtha. So that is the other side of it. So here, Samādhānam means keeping the mind withdrawn from the world. Atmasamstam manakritva na kinchidapi chintayet. Keep the mind in Atma and don't initiate any new thought. Don't initiate any new stream of emotion, distraction inside. Keeping the mind calm. The person has to take resolve at least after retirement. All these years I have struggled, I have had all ding dong in the world. From outside some ding come, inside dong comes. This is ragadvesha. From outside something comes, may provokes you, you get agitated. Now no more that business. Now I will have no distraction from the outside world. When you take that resolve, that is Vivekam. And when you avoid every distraction, that is Vairagyam. And when you sufficiently withdraw, outwardly, inwardly protect yourself, that is Uparati. And in spite of that, some trouble comes, you are able to endure, that is Titiksha. And you have Śraddhā in Satsanga, Shastra, that is Śraddhā, attention, Śraddhā. And as the fruit of all these sadhanas, your mind remains very calm. This Samādhānam is very visible when you wake up in the morning. Your meditation is highly evolved. You can find it out in between two sleeps. In the midnight, when you wake up, then also if your mind is meditating, it has really entered the inner center. And when you wake up in the morning, then also you sit in your bed and you are in a meditative mood. Your meditation has flowered, blossomed. Really, you have touched the center of Samādhānam. And you don't disturb your peace again by lalanam. By, so much sadhana I have done, now I will disturb the mind. You don't do that. Samyak asthapanam buddhe. Perfectly make it abide there. Shuddhe brahmani sarvada. Tat samadhanam ityuktam. That is called samadhanam. Natu chittasya lalanam. Paurushena prayatnena lalayet chitta balakam. Yoga Vasishta says, with great willpower, we make the mind, chitta is like a balaka, like a child. And with willpower and slowly by advice, by slowly, not pampering, here it is with love you advise the child and thus take it back to the heart. So that is here the Vasishta uses the word lalana in a different meaning. So the iti vasishtoktaritya chalanam lalanam va samadhi sadhanatvena purvam apekshyat. This is done in the beginning. Natu phalibhuta samadhana avasthayam tada abhyasam vinapi samadhi sampadana kale krita prayatnena chīna bāhyavasanasya manasaha sagunāt pratyāvanamatrasya nirgune sthapayitum apekshita tvat iti. The mind naturally stays in nirguna brahma, pure shanti, consciousness. So that is samadhanam. Now the last one. All our sadhana we started due to our longing for liberation, which is called Mumukṣutva, Mumuksha, Mokshecha. With that only we started our sadhana. But now Shankaracharya is he is redefining the desire for liberation. First, we do not know what is liberation. Somewhere you have a clue that there is a spiritual achievement by which the person will become free. For that, he is ready to offer his life. And he moves away from everything that disturbs him. He is ready to endure all difficulties. He has great faith in Shastra and Guru. And his meditation is also deep. All these prerequisites are there. Now, he is redefining liberation, because now you are going to do Atma Vichara. Here he says, what is liberation for a person who has already understood the inner meaning? For him, liberation is not liberation of, it is liberation from. It is not freedom of mind, it is freedom from the mind. It is not freedom of the body, it is freedom from the body. It is not freedom of the senses, it is freedom from the senses. Ahankaradi dehantan bandhan. He finds that his bondage is not outside. It is not his house. It is not money. It is not outer pleasure. It is not wife or children, family. It is with him. His identity right from the ego, and it ends in the body, says Shankaracharya. Nothing outside. It begins from the ego and ends in the body. Ahankara adi deha anta. Here lies bondage. Nothing outside. Ahankara adi dehantan bandhan. Ajnana kalpitan. And this bondage, how is it possible to be free? Is it possible to be free? Only if the bondage is mithya, unreal. You can become free of that by knowledge. No other way. If the bondage is real, there is no way that you can be free. The bondage is fortunately not real. It is superimposition. As Brahma Sutra Bhashyam beginning Shankaracharya says, it is adhyastha. It is not real. Ego, mind, body, and as an extension of it, the world outside. It is all nothing but superimposed in your real nature. They are not real. So by jnana nivartyatvam is there. You can be free from them by jnanam. If they are factual, no way you can be free. Fortunately, they are not true. So, there is a way by which you can become absolutely free, provided you are ready to inquire and know the truth. So, ahankara adi dehantan bandhan ajnana kalpitan. Kalpana means adhyasa, superimposition, due to ignorance. Swaswarupa avabodhena muktumicha mumukṣutva. So, apatata jnanam, a vague knowledge is there that the way out is knowledge of Swaswarupa, one's real nature. By knowing one's true nature, one can be free of this superimposition. The moment you know, and Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi's life is the perfect udaharana, drishtanta, example for that. He clearly says, I have not done any sadhana other than this vichar. No other sadhana, nothing. Just a beginning of bhakti, then inquiry, who am I, what is my real nature, and realizing that I am the Atma. And in that very moment, he also understood that right from the I thought to the body, everything is like a serpent seen in a rope. After the knowledge has so much prakarsha, so deep impact in him, that after waking up also he had all problems. The body problem was there, everything was there. But it is like, you suppose sometimes you see a dream, very disturbing dream, it disturbs you. You wake up from the dream, it disturbs you. But if you are really wise, it should not make any sense to you, right? Because it's only a dream. Some potato eaten in night has become undigested, create all this trouble. And you give importance to it, wake up and sit like this whole day because you had a bad dream. So it should not have any impact on you, provided you are really intelligent. So the dream also has an effect. Like that is only, even after knowing this, the body has its impact, the mind has impact. If the body is real, take it for granted, no sadhana will make you free. No sadhana. Temporarily you may become successful by your striving, exercise, etc., to keep it in some order. But one day it will leave you. It will grow old, it will decay. Or some other problem can come. Like that is mind, like that the ego, all these things. And some people have subtle delusion, they think that the ego will disappear. Ego will disappear only by jnanam, not if the ego really disappears, it will be a great calamity. You will not know who you are. You don't know which house you should enter. Coming from Ramana Ashramam, you can enter any house, you don't know. And somebody tells you, who are you? You ask, who am I? No idea. So the ego vanishes. When Bhagavan says the ego vanishes, he very clearly says the ego, the mind, the body, the world, everything vanishes. In the sense like the mirage, water seen in a mirage. You still see the water, but you are no more deluded. You have woken up. Above that, then you might ask, only that knowledge is there? No. You are aware of that adhisthana behind, which is infinite, which is purna, which is whole, which is Satchidananda, which is of the nature of absolute nirvana, freedom. You are aware of that. So the surface doesn't count. So this kind of intensity should be there in knowledge. Knowledge should not be dry. The impact of the knowledge is in pratyabhijna. your focus, that is what Vivekachudamani is going to reveal as turning towards the center. Nirvikalpa Samadhi, when it says, it is not the Nirvikalpa Samadhi of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Of course, in Patanjali Yoga Sutra also, you can define it like this. But here very clearly Shankaracharya says, where one's real nature is shining forth completely, absolutely. So that Nirvikalpa Samadhi need not be only absorption and you wake up without that, no. So that recognition of the Adhisthana, the Swaswarupa, the Satchidananda Vastu is there. That makes all the difference. Bhagavan says it is like becoming aware of the Shruti note behind the music. The tunes are changing, Talam is changing, Raga is changing, but the Shruti remains changeless. So that is the freedom, the liberation for which the wise Viveki seeker is striving to get firmly established in that center. For that he goes to the Guru, starts listening. So we will continue tomorrow. Arunachala Shiva,
Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva,
Arunachala,
Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva.